Hello friends. Welcome back to Wonderfully Made Bible Stories for Children. I'm so glad you're here. Last time, little Joash came out of hiding. A crown was placed on his head, and the people rejoiced as Joash became king of Judah. God had faithfully kept his promise. But as Joash grew older, he noticed something important. The temple of the Lord needed to be repaired. Today, we'll see what Joash decided to do, and how God's people worked together to restore it. Are you ready? Let's jump in. Joash was only 7 years old when he became king, and for many years, Jehoiada the priest taught and guided him. While Jehoiada instructed him, Joash did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. As Joash grew older, he turned his attention to the temple. The temple had been built many years before by King Solomon. It was the place where God's people came to worship the Lord. But now parts of it had been damaged and needed to be repaired. Joash wanted something to be done about it. Joash told the priests to use the money brought to the temple to repair whatever damage they found. But years passed, and the repairs still had not been completed. Joash noticed. He called Jehoiada and the other priests and asked why the temple had not been repaired. The way they had been collecting the money wasn't getting the repairs done. Something needed to change. So a new plan was made. The priests would no longer collect the money themselves for the repairs. Jehoiada took a chest. He made a hole in its lid and placed it beside the altar at the entrance to the temple. Now, when people came to worship the Lord, they could put their gifts into the chest. Little by little, the money began to collect. More gifts came. Whenever the priests saw that there was a large amount of money in the chest, the king's secretary and the high priest came together. They counted the money and carefully recorded it. Then the money was given to the people responsible for repairing the temple. Now the work could begin. Carpenters came to work with wood. Builders and stoneworkers repaired the damaged parts of the temple. The money was also used to buy timber and stone for the repairs. Day by day, the temple was being restored. The people had given. The workers worked. And those responsible for the money handled it faithfully. In fact, the Bible tells us something wonderful about the people supervising the work. They did not need to be asked to give an account of every piece of money they spent, because they acted with complete honesty. They could be trusted. The work continued. The damaged parts of the temple were repaired. The house of the Lord was restored. Something that had been neglected was being cared for again. Joash had seen a problem and had not simply ignored it. God's people had given what was needed. Skilled workers had used their abilities. And trustworthy people had carefully managed what had been entrusted to them. Together, they had helped restore the temple of the Lord. Let's think about today's story together. What did Joash notice was wrong with the temple? How did the people help with the repairs? What do we learn from the people who could be trusted with the money? How can we faithfully use what God has given us to serve Him and help others? God gives different things to different people. Some people can give, others can build, others can organize, others can lead. Whatever God has entrusted to us, we should use it faithfully. And when something important needs to be done, we shouldn't simply wait for someone else to do it. We can each faithfully do our part. Thanks for joining me today. Next time on Wonderfully Made, years will pass. Joash will face a difficult choice. The faithful priest who guided him will no longer be there. And we'll discover why following God only when other people are watching is not enough. We'll find out next time. Until then, remember, you are wonderfully made. Bye for now.